Afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to my fellow panelists. I'm so excited to be here and happy Global Girls in ICT Day. I think it's bringing together two of my favorite things, women and ICT, because I'm passionate about both of them, because it's just my everyday, day in, day out, what I do for my job. So let's get into it. Well, all the speakers started talking about who they are and how they got to where they are, so I'll briefly talk about myself. I studied electrical engineering at the University of Cape Town from 2004 till 2008. Interestingly enough, I never wanted to be an engineer. I actually wanted to be a graphic artist because I love drawing. I did comic books and used to do like sketching designs and stuff, but my guidance counselor in high school thought that was a bad idea because I was so good in maths and science. So she told me to go to, I remember it was Wits Tech back in those days, their open day, and find out about engineering. And then I ended up applying for engineering. UCT recruited me. That's why I ended up going to UCT. And Vodacom was my bursa. So I'm sort of a Vodacom baby, so to speak. I've been with Vodacom since my undergrad. Oh, let me just, sorry, my phones are still on. Okay, so what do I do? Dinyiko actually gave a very technical explanation. So basically, I'm responsible for when you click on the Instagram app, I'm responsible for making sure that your feed loads in the smallest amount of time with the highest amount of quality, so the best resolution your handset can offer, and also with 120% security, so nobody can hack your device, nobody can infiltrate information of yours on the network, and also, yeah, quality top notch. So I am responsible for that for every single app, service, 2G, 3G, LTE. Now we're busy working on 5G. That is my job currently. And then, so we maintain the network now. And then we also do research for future technologies. So because Vodacom falls under Vodafone, I work with the global Vodafone team for strategy, architecture, and I also work with Vodafone's big partners. So Amazon, AWS, we work with you guys. I work with Cisco, I work with Nokia. So I really get great exposure. For me, the world is very small because I talk to everybody from every background in every country you can think of. So my topic for today is the future of women in programming. And it made me think about, and it came up in the panelist discussion, in that, you know, we're exposing young ladies to coding, but what is it? We're not seeing the intake of ladies actually in industry. So when we talk about programming, what does it mean? And how does it materialize into the industry that is ICT? So right now, the buzzwords, okay, before COVID-19, but the buzzwords a lot are big data, analytics, Internet of Things, the fourth industrial revolution, cybersecurity, platform economy. It's all things whirling around, but what does it mean? And most importantly, where do we fit in? And also, where do we as women fit in, right? So ultimately, all of these innovations, their backbone is programming. The programming language can be different, but programming is still the enabler of all of these technologies. So now looking in the big data and analytics space, we have access to a huge amount of information because of the proliferation of connectivity. Now, this enables us to know more about things and more about people. However, information can only be powerful if it is sourced, analyzed, and interpreted by people that actually understand it and ultimately will be able to do something with it. You know, for example, how can a man understand that there has been an increase in the number of social media influencers in the natural hair care space? A woman will know that this data can influence the kind of marketing that can be done to certain subscribers. Like Naomi was saying, if you are working in Revlon, for example, you will know, because a lot of women now are going natural, you should be divesting from your relaxers and investing more into the products for natural hair. A woman can also think of curating an application to assist a woman on her natural hair care journey, similar to pregnancy app, right? There's a pregnancy apps available from the time you get your positive pregnancy results until you actually give birth after the 40 weeks. So imagine if there was an app that has anything and everything to do with your type of hair. You can filter down, I'm a 4C kind of hair. These are the issues that I'm experiencing. It can send you to the influencers. It can send you to the blogs. It can send you to the kind of products you'd be using. So this is the kind of things we're looking at, like how women can influence this kind of space. So being able to source the data, get it out, interpret it, and make use of it. That is the kind of space that women can be actually quite powerful in. Now, in the telecommunications network space where I operate, talk has already begun about 6G. Now, in South Africa, we are yet to get 3G handsets into our rural areas. In fact, Vodacom is really, really trying hard to switch off the 2G network, but we can't because in rural areas, there's still a lot of subscribers who actually, to this day, are still buying 2G handsets. So these are the kind of things that women can actually put on the table and ask the question, how does the next evolution of the telecommunications network address this gap? You know, we can't move backwards and say, oh, you're on 2G, hey, let's get you on 3G, because they're still going to be behind. And we can't move so far forward that people are even more behind. It's all good and well to have high speeds and low latencies, but how do we bridge the gap with technology advances? So how do we support technology companies, the existing ones, Vodacom, MTN, Telcom, all of those ones, and the new startups, your Rain and all of those things, because they are companies, they still need to be profitable, they want to be able to service everybody, and they also need to also be contributing to the economy and the GDP. So us as women, intrinsically, we consider our community. It's like Oprah said when she opened that academy of hers in the country, like when you educate a young girl, you educate and you empower a nation, a community. So this kinds of mindsets, they need to be at the tables, at the ITU, at ETSI, all of those organizations where they're setting global standards, roadmaps, and specifications. So that is what I would like to see more women in that space be doing. It's like speaking for people who just have not been spoken for a very long time. Now, the platform economy, now what does that mean? I mean, we see the hackathons. It's basically, there's a problem, you think of a way to solve it, you develop an application. There's an app for everything. I don't want to even talk about how much money I spend on my kids' educational apps and these games and stuff like that. So ultimately, apps solve problems we currently have, and also problems we didn't even think we had. Teddy actually spoke earlier about Uber. Uber was an app, and now Uber has just grown to a point that it's a whole organization. So the platform economy is really, really fueling a lot of GDPs and a lot of companies. But what I would love to see is to see us as African women developing applications to solve problems that we face. Kungela actually spoke about it, that we're getting apps from America and we're just plugging them in. We're getting apps from other countries and we're just plugging them in. We need to actually look at our environment and look at our communities and looking at what they are struggling with and develop solutions and applications to help them with their specific problems. I actually heard of an app before COVID. I think it was for people to be able, for older people to be able to buy from spaza shops, like an online shopping for the spaza shops in their vicinity, so they don't actually have to leave home. Things like that. I truly believe that we have what it takes to solve our own problems, and I want to see women see an issue, develop a solution, and be empowered enough to program our own applications or even employ other women with programming skills. We don't all have to be coders, but we can actually work with other female coders to actually build these solutions and for us to participate in this global platform economy that is booming. So this is very high level. I mean, I could get into a lot, but it just shows that within ICT, there's a lot going on. There's a lot you can get your teeth into. And the backbone of it all is programming. Like I said, we don't all have to be coders. just understanding it and how the building blocks come together, the kind of people you can reach out for help to help you with your development or building your solution or building your little startup, your own company. Just get involved. So next time you're sitting in front of a math problem that is making you pull your hair out, next time your code is missing a semicolon on the line 1465, next time you walk into a room or into a lecture theater and you don't see yourself represented, please don't be discouraged. Stick to it, do the work, show up, take space. ICT needs us because it exists to connect us to the world. Let us shape it into what it can do for us as Africans, and especially what it can do for us as African women. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. This has been an incredible afternoon for me. I don't get to engage a lot of women because of my job. It's a lot of men. So it was awesome. Thank you very much, everyone.